Hey y'all, John here from Second Chance Composting. How you doing today? So, gonna do much different video today. Um, doesn't really have much to do with composting, but you know, wood, trees are such a huge part of what we do for our business and just personally. Like we have wood floors, our house is made out of wood, tables, chairs, the food we eat, maple syrup, apples, pears. There's so much in our life that comes from trees, and I try to remember that. Um, so they're very important to us. We live in Massachusetts in the Berkshires, so winters can be long. You never know what you're gonna get. It's dark, can be cold. So we moved in this house 3 years ago. I had a wood stove years ago in a little cabin that I built, like a little shack. And I've always wanted to have a wood stove in the house that I own. And when I was a kid at my grandparents' house, they always had a wood stove. And I remember my grandfather loading it with beautiful red stove, top down load. Great memories of just being in that room. It was so hot in the room, and then the other room was cold. But just great memories and something I wanted to be able to do at my own house with my own family for so many different reasons. One being the self-sufficiency. I love cutting wood. I love finding it. I love splitting it, stacking it, bucking it, moving it. I love learning about it, any type of wood. So we've been here 3 years. We bought this wood stove. This is a Drawlet Legend 3 wood stove. We have over 2,000 square feet house here, and this is rated for over that. We had this stove sitting here since last year. We could not get somebody to put this thing in. I cannot tell you how much work it was to try to find somebody to put this wood stove in. It was unbelievable. You would not believe how unprofessional. We signed contracts with people. Then they wouldn't take out permits, and they just stopped talking to us. Then we talked to people for months, and they said they'd do it. And they just backed. And this is like 4 or 5 different companies. Another company wouldn't come 10 extra minutes over their line to come and install it. And it was like a $10,000 to $12,000 job that we were willing to pay them to do. So the stove had been sitting there. I had probably 10 cord of wood outside last year. I ended up selling 4 or 5 just to get rid of it because it was already seasoned and ready. So the stove was sitting in here, but we weren't able to use it. So we bought it brand new from the company. And my thinking was buy it from the company. We bought the hearth from somebody online. We had a lot of piping and stuff. I figured make it easy. A company can come in and just install it. But that's not how it works. These companies that sell stoves you have to buy the stove directly from them, and then they'll install it. And if you don't buy it from them, they're not going to install it. They say it's an insurance thing. I think it's more just they don't want to do it. They want to make the money off of you buying the stove from them and them installing it. So after a year and a half of trying to get somebody to put this wood stove in, finally said we're going to do it ourselves. And it really wasn't all that hard. We had 3 of us, my stepfather, my uncle, and me. Couldn't have done it without them, obviously. I wouldn't have known how to do it. But with the 3 of us, we got it in, and it's been awesome. It's the beginning of December here, first week in December, and we've already had a 1 degree day, and we've been pretty warm here. I've only been burning softwood so far, or low grade hardwood, poplar, box elder, pine, hemlock. I think that's it. I burnt a little bit of Siberian elm, but it's been warm. I mean, last night it was so warm in our room that I had to open the window. So I don't know how it's going to be on the really cold nights, like that 1 degree night the other night. It was not It was not, I wanted to be really hot in here, but it really wasn't. It's a big house. There's a full upstairs. My mom and stepfather live upstairs, so it's a lot to heat. The nice thing is this stove has a blower on it. It's an electrical blower, but it attaches right to the stove itself, so you can turn that on and blow the heat. But today it's in the 20s today. It's beautiful in here right now. I'm sweating sitting next to it. So yeah, as far as like with composting, I get a lot of wood chips, leaves, a lot of tree products, and a byproduct of just kind of being in the business and knowing a lot of people is a lot of times guys have firewood they don't want. Um, I tend to know people that are doing landscaping and tree work because the leaves and the wood chips are useful to us. We form partnerships, and again, sometimes they have a lot of pine or hemlock or low poplar, low grade woods that people don't want for free that they'll bring to me, or I can go get it. I have the equipment to go get it, so it's free wood. So I've been putting that to use. I have enough wood for the next 3 years here. Um, just something I like to do on the side. A lot of work, but again, love doing it. So let me just show you a little bit about this. So again, this is the Drawlet Legend 3. They're from Canada. I'm going to put a backsplash on this next year. I haven't got around to it. Just happy this thing is in. And then we bought this this wood rack from Enclume. I love it. And also this tool set from Enclume, and it matches the wood rack too, design wise. And then we had my wife's friend, her husband, blacksmith, and he made us this really nice poker. It's a big piece of art to me. So, and then we also got the thermometer. We're at almost 500 degrees. So, again, winters can get long here. We're always dealing with equipment issues, winter storms, plowing places out, getting stuck, issues like that. So, in the winter, when I do have days off and time off, I like to be able to sit and relax. And a lot of the work I do, I've already done. So as far as like the firewood, I already have the wood ready. I've been doing it for years since we moved in here, and I have cord upon cord of wood outside. So it feels good in the winter to kind of be able to sit and relax and sit around the fire from all the work that I've done when it was the summer, or when I had more time, or when I was feeling good, or like if I have like right now my back's hurting. When my back's not hurting, I get the work done. And then when I need some downtime because I did the work, I have it. Self-sufficient. We heat with oil here as our main burner. It's old, it's inefficient. We don't like it. You put that thing on 70 and it's still not hot in here. It's really bad. So we've been trying to get this in. And again, we've had this in this winter. We've been burning for about a month now, and it's been great. Another thing we did is here's our stove. And this is where we had our thermostat for our oil. So this would be reading 85 in here. So the oil heat was never going to kick on. So what we did is all the way back here in my daughter's room, this is kind of the far end of the house for air movement and heat. We put the thermostat in here. So now if it ever gets below a certain point at this part of the house, it'll kick on, because this is the coldest part of the house, because we're kind of away and our bathroom's over there. So those are the two areas, and then our office is right here. And this is the upstairs. So what we do is, that's the front door. Upstairs is my mom and stepfather's apartment. So what we do is we leave that open, let the air go upstairs too, and they've been fine up there. They've been warm because the heat rises. So It's been great. Hard to get a full overnight burn with this thing. This thing has rated for a 10-hour burn time overnight. Maybe if I had some oak or locust or some really good hardwood, I might get that. But I have not really had a problem like having some sort of coals in the morning to get this thing going again. I'm not starting it up from scratch each time. So I do end up waking up in the middle of the night once or twice. Once probably go to the bathroom or whatever, get a drink of water, and I'll fill it. It's a lot of work, but once I have higher quality wood ready to burn, which I will for next year, I have a bunch of maple out there that's going to be ready. I'll see how it works. But for now, I'm dealing with what we have. This wood was all free, other than the time and effort to get it and split it and, bucket and all that, move it. But, I mean, we've already haven't spent a dime on oil this winter, and that oil is expensive. So, very happy with this system. I've noticed that cleaning the ashes out, new to me, to run a stove consistently. So I'm trying to still find the best time to load the ashes out. I'm finding that when it's a cooler day like this, where it's not too hot or too cold outside, I can rake the coals to the side and kind of get the ashes out and keep it up so that it's not getting too full. I noticed that the Siberian elm coaled up a lot to the point where there's not much room in the stove. So we've been using the ashes in the driveway for the snow, for walkways and stuff like that. I can also put them in the compost. You don't want to use a lot of them, especially if you're doing at-home composting. You wouldn't want to be putting all the ashes in your compost pile, but our piles are so big that it's okay, and it's a good for the mix. So we add them in there to some degree too. Let me just load this up for you. I also bought myself some welding gloves just to be safe. I have this old bellows here. I just bought a new one. They sent me the wrong one, so I'm waiting to get the right one in the mail. Well, there you go. There's the stove. Nice hot coals. It's hot in here right now. I'll let this burn down a little bit. It's hot enough in here, but oh, let me show you the blower here. So shut that. So the blower is this little button back here. You just pop it on, and it blows the air outward, and it's pretty strong. I mean, it makes a big difference. You can feel it coming out. It can be a little bit loud. Got to turn the TV up a little bit, but we usually just turn it on at night. Unless it's really cold, we'll put it on. Additionally, I'm going to turn it off now because I don't really need it. Additionally, and you can kind of adjust it to different settings here. And that there is the outside air kit we put in. So it's just basically a hole in the wall, and it feeds fresh air into the firebox to help light it and keep enough air in there. Additionally, one thing, and this wood is not ideal. There's a little bit of growth on that one. Probably not the best thing to burn, but not the end of the world. This wood, if you're gonna be burning the pine, the hemlock, you got to make sure it's really dry. You do not want the creosote in the chimney. As long as you're seasoning it long enough where it's under 20% moisture content. I don't check it. That stuff's been out there for over 2 years. It's dry. Some of it got some surface moisture, like as you can see, like I said, on it, because it was actually sitting out for too long. And we didn't have it covered for a little while, so we covered them all. We actually dry our clothes over here too. We don't have a dryer. We have a clothesline out there that you can see. And then in the winter we dry them in here. So, and I got this. My in-laws got me that bag to carry the wood in. Here you go. see. And this thing's like, I'm not gonna lift it up right now, but very helpful. So just something that very important to me, to be able to be self-sufficient in that way. Use products that are wasted. Again, it's all about composting and reusing things. I mean, a lot of this wood is stuff that guys do on tree jobs where they're getting paid to take the tree down, and then at the end they just have this wood that nobody wants, because a lot of people don't burn the stuff that I burn. So I love it. We can get it delivered to our door, sometimes bucked up. We gotta split it and stack and stuff, but free fuel. And with oil, and I don't like depending on oil, the oil heat is not hot anyway, like I said. This, you know, doing wood, it's a lot of work. Before I get into that, let me show you this. I also got this screen. Check this thing. This comes with this stove. I'll put you down for a minute here. Check it out. That's a screen. If you are sitting around at Christmas, or it's the fall or the spring and it's not too cold out, but you want to get a little heat, or you just want the ambience, not a word I use very often, of the fire, you can put that in there and it won't blow you out with heat, but it's beautiful and you won't get any sparks or anything like that. So I bought that. That was like $100 and something bucks extra, but good to have. So yeah, love it. Love burning with wood. A lot of work. I mean, everyone tells you how much work it is, and I know how much work it is to buck, split, move, stack. But this is the first year I've had like I said, I've had a wood stove in a shed before. Very small firebox, like you could get a 12-inch piece in there. This you can get up to a 20-inch piece, so it's a big difference. This heats a whole house. This was like a little cabin. So that was like much more low maintenance, much smaller pieces of wood. You didn't have to clean out the ashes as much. Wasn't as big of a thing. And you weren't moving as much wood. But with this, like the cutting, bucking, splitting, stacking, that's all one part of it, and then letting it season. The thing that really is a lot of work is, and because we're using pine, softwoods, you know, low quality hardwoods, you have to burn a lot more to get the same BTUs, to get the same heat output. So we're moving a lot of wood like into the house, like onto the porch, into the house. So this, we just loaded up this morning. On a cold day, that whole thing will be gone by within like a day and a half, maybe a day. So it's constant every day filling up that. I might actually get a bigger wood rack for indoors. Let me show you out here. And then what we do is we keep the wood on the porch here. We got these racks. So there's one rack there that goes all the way to that corner over there. We got some stuff here, and then this is another rack that is already getting kind of low. We fill this up. It took us like a little over a week to maybe a week and a half to have this come down to nothing. We try to keep it refilled, but we're good for now. So we move it all from different areas. That's the stuff we're using this year. That's all the wood that's going to be gone by the summer. By the spring probably. That stuff there I might wait. That's all different stuff. And then I get all that I'm still working on over there. So it's a lot to move it into the house over and over. And again, the wood mess, if you don't like a mess, don't have a wood stove. We just got these hardwood floors in. I was just talking to my wife about it. I like it. There's a scratch in it. There's a little stain right there. We're not sure where that came from. She just tried to mop it. To me, it's like character to some degree. I don't want to mess and to look bad. But, you know, if we wanted a pristine floor with no character, no problems, we'd get something totally different than a nice hardwood floor that is meant to, you know, feel like this. So let me take this out. I'll load the stove up while you're watching here. But we did pick up this morning. Took a 3-hour trip. Now I'm home for the day. And I'm just gonna sit by the wood stove. I feel like I've earned this. So, let me show you. I always put the gloves on. These are great. I keep this off to the side. We don't use it much, but I'm not gonna load it up because it's already pretty hot in here. I'll throw a couple in there to show you. You know, there you go. Nice crispy wood. It's gonna burn right up. The smell, the process, everything about it. I absolutely love it. I feel like if I wasn't doing composting, I'd be running a firewood company of some kind. There you have it. Pretty simple. All the wood has different characteristics, different smells, different looks. This is the hemlock. You can tell by the bark, the color. It's just a fun process. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of work to work more hours at a job and have to pay somebody to bring you oil all the time or to pay the gas bill. So I think it offsets itself. Maybe when I'm 60, I might not want to do that, but I'm 40 now. I have a bad back. I'm going to keep doing this. I love it too much to not. It just makes the home feel more like a home to me. You know, you're kind of taking care of everything. It's within your control. You know, if the electricity goes down, we still have heat here. So, and there you go. It's crackling. Everybody, I'm gonna go. Happy composting.